Okie dokie. Welcome. So, I don't know what it's like where you are, but at the time I'm filming this, it is a beautiful summer night at 7,000 feet. So, I get that ache in my heart for some of that classic 90s late night AM radio UFO talk. Those were the days. So, I've got a pretty stellar book haul here, and I had a day out hunting the other day, and just came back with some pretty awesome stuff. Some of it pretty unexpected. So we're going to talk about that. I got a lot of other rambling on my mind, and I have a nice quiet night to myself here. So who knows what we'll talk about. Kind of hate that this is a one-way conversation, but this is the nature of the internet. So I hope all of my fellow humans are doing well and being kind to each other. And for all of the non-human intelligences out there listening or watching or absorbing, I hope you're being kind to yourselves too. So, kind of split this haul into two boxes, and I'm a little unsure which one to tackle first. I think I've got a smaller box of larger things and a larger box of smaller things. So I think we're going to go with the smaller box of larger things first. Okay, so I don't typically hunt out horror fiction, and I don't know that this is really horror, but this is the masterpieces of terror and the unknown. This is really cool. I found this one, and I found his buddy, that one right there. I've never heard of these. This isn't really my lane, but they were too cool to not grab. And I want to say these are mid 80s. Yeah, 85. I think this one's 85. Yeah, this is 93, so a little bit later. But yeah, it seems to be short stories, and there's some Lovecraft in here. There's some wild stuff. So I don't know. These will probably end up on my eBay page, but very cool. I hope somebody else knows about these, because it's just not something I'm familiar with. Sometimes you find a book out in the wild, and you're like, man, don't pick up that book. Don't pick up that book. You don't want it in your collection necessarily. And maybe it's a little rough, and you probably won't sell it. But then sometimes it's just like, well, if I don't pick it up, it's going to end up in a landfill, and I don't want that to happen. So I found this paperback stories from the Twilight Zone. So this is a collection of Twilight Zone episodes. And I mean, it's very readable. It's in very readable condition. It's just a little beat up there. And I probably paid $1 too much for it, but either way, it's fun. This is something else that's kind of out of my lane. I don't typically just dive in and grab vintage fiction, especially if it's just sort of pulp fiction. I'm pretty sure that's what this is, but the cover on this guy was just too great. There's a little bit of tearing right here, but the front is in really great shape. And this is a 1950s print. I know that there are people that collect this stuff. So I just felt obliged to grab it. Yeah, I don't know. It'll go on the eBay page. We'll see if somebody wants to buy it. But yeah, I'm pretty, I don't know. It's a great cover. It's a good jacket. I found another copy of that. Yeah, in here at the Stars. This one's in pretty good shape. Let's see. What's the edition on this one? This is 8th printing, 1982. So still very readable. This would be a great reader's copy. I've run into a few of these recently, different books from this publisher. The editor of these books, ST Owner, yeah, so it's not science fiction, but every one of these that I've picked up to sell has sold, and so as I find them, I will continue to pick them up. And here's something really special. This is Bodyguard and 4 other short novels from Galaxy Science Fiction, edited by H.L. Gold. Really, I mean, it's got wear on it. There's definitely some wear in the jacket, but the jacket is intact. There's a little bit of staining here, but this is great. The hardback collections like this are really hard to run across. I don't run into them very often, so I just assume it's hard for everybody. I'm in a pretty incredible book market here, with a lot of stuff out there to be found, and I don't see this kind of stuff very often. So this is I really like this. And to the bookstore, the thrift store that I sometimes go to, not often, they put these awful fucking stickers on there, and I diligently remove them very carefully, and 99% of the time I can get them off without damage, but these are the worst goddamn stickers in the entire universe, and they're awful. I wish that this place would just standardize their book prices, because they don't do that either, and I wish that they would remove these stickers from their inventory, because it is unreal how much I hate these stickers. And then in the same vein of hardcovers with complete dust jackets, this is The Worlds of Clifford Simak, 12 science fiction stories by Clifford Simak. This is beautiful. Sorry, let me get you actually in the frame here. This is beautiful. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe I found this on the shelf of a thrift store. It's going to get a lot of love. I'm probably actually going to finally order some hardback sleeves, because this needs to go into a sleeve. This is too perfect, and this needs to be preserved. So, and I will probably let this go at some point, but I'm just going to be in awe of it for a while. It's really beautiful. And then I found this. I owned this years ago and read it when I was a teenager, and was really fascinated with Robert Anton Wilson for a while. But this is the Illuminati trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Shea. But yeah, it's fun. This is not in great shape, but these are always exciting to find. Nobody can spin a yarn and just vocabulate like Robert Anton Wilson. I love watching the few videos out there of him speaking. They're really fantastic, and he is greatly missed. So, the Illuminati trilogy. Again, with books that, I tell myself don't grab them. and then end up grabbing them. There's this is a Joe Hadelman Star Trek novel, and this one's by Gordon Eklund. So, I mean, I couldn't just leave him there. And then there's really great stuff like this. This is the Mind Masters Amazons. Erotic fiction like this sells really well, believe it or not. There's a lot going on down there. That man is really enjoying himself. Yeah. So I had to walk away with that. Here is another Galaxy Reader, the 5th Galaxy Reader. I gotta quit doing that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna... Here, let's fix this right now. This blue tape might be annoying to you, but it's probably less annoying than seeing the book out of frame. So we're just gonna put that right there. That's for me. So again, we've just got this incredible dust jacket. This one's in the best condition yet. And yeah, I don't know. It just sort of speaks for itself. So what have we got in here? What's the year on this one? This is going to be 1961. Fritz Lieber, Silverberg, Dixon, yeah, they're all there. Frederick Pohl. Incredible. That's a beauty. And then I've got a customer who collects these Kim Stanley Robinson books. And I believe he's collecting all of the editions of these that were printed. So grab this, and I need to message him about that. I'm sure he will be happy. And then I found this one. This is in great shape. This is from the 80s. This is Fever Dream. I still did it. I have my piece of tape there, and I still did it again. This is Fever Dream by George R. R. Martin. I'm not a G.R.R. Martin guy, but this one looked too good to just pass up. So it's 1982. Should be a first edition. No, it's a book club. It's a book club. Book club. All right, so that does it for the small box of big books. Just a minute, we're going to do the large box of small books. Okie dokie. So sometimes, you hit the thrift store, you're out there searching for books, and you just run into what I can only assume is somebody's old collection. And I've got this one thrift store near my house that it's just frickin', I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if it's one guy dropping his books off. I don't know what the deal is, but it is always, completely bananas. Every time I go in there, I say every time, I'd say, 5 out of 10 times that I go in there, there's this massive lot of books that they just don't belong there. They need to come home with me, and I have to buy them all. And unfortunately, this is one of those thrift stores that they don't just do like a blanket half off day. It's half off with exceptions. And so I was in there on the right day, on the half off day, but orange tags are not half off. So I ended up basically paying, my max price for each of these, and which does not bring me joy. But when you see the books, I think that you will congratulate me not walking away. Now some of these are in really, really great condition, and some of these are a little worn. But all in all, I'd say the condition is pretty fair. So we're going to start out here. This is one called Slater's Planet by Harris Moore. That's fun. I'm just going to start piling them up here. We got Sleepwalker's World by Gardner Dixon. Gardner Dixon. Sorry, my multiple dialects just sort of code switch in and out sometimes. I found a copy of Nova by Samuel Delany. No Mind of Man by Terry Carr and Richard Lipoff and Robert Silverberg. So that must be a minor collection. The Anarchist Colossus by Van Vogt. The Outposter by Gardner Dixon. There's another Van Vogt here, Masters of Time. I love this cover. It's a great cover. I have a couple copies of that already. John Brunner, The Overlords of War. Pretty great. We're not even to the best stuff yet. Just hang on. Let's see. This is another collection. I love these little paperback collections. There's really great stuff in this. Gardner Dixon's Sleepwalker's World. These are some of the best. These doll covers are really great for Dixon for some reason. I don't know. Like, this is really stellar. Really love that. There's an Aldous Budrys here. Falling Torch. And let's see, what is that? Oh, this is a Beyond Belief, 8 Strange Tales of Other Worlds, edited by Richard Hurley. So that is a legit pocket-sized book. Then we got Starlight by Hal Clement. I'm going to start a new stack here. Another Gardner Dixon doll, Ancient My Enemy. Get a good look at that. That's pretty fun. Then we've got The Grotto of the Formigans by Danielle de Cruz. And that looks absolutely horrifying. Beautiful. We got another Van Vogt, The Blal. Very cool cover. These are some very interesting spacesuits. We can do a little bit better than that. There we go. We got Nova 4 by Harry Harrison. Another Gardner Dixon, On the Run. It's a very, very fun cover. And another Hal Clement, Mission of Gravity. I think I have a couple of copies of this too. Found Jack Vance, The Many Worlds of Magnus Rudolph. That fella has an unfortunate skull. Another Van Vogt, The Man with 1,000 Names. Van Vogt. Zena Henderson, The People No Different Flesh. I got a couple of copies of this too. I don't have this print, so this is a different edition than I have, but the same cover art. Zena Henderson, Holding Wonder. This looks absolutely terrifying too. I can't wait to get this out of my possession. Master of Everon. I have not ever found a copy of that yet, but that's a great print. Soldier Ask Not, also another great edition. Have several of these, but I've never run across that cover before. Starlight by Hal Clement. And then when I started running into these, I started pulling these off the shelf, and I just couldn't really believe it. It was like, it's happening. So I found Galactic Cluster by James Blish. What's happening? I found the James Blish, the best of James Blish, right there. I have not seen that before in the wild, and I have looked in a lot of places. And then, let's see. We got The Wizard of Lynn by Van Voigt. The Grex Bring Gifts. That looks like trash, but that's amazing. Got a copy of Bolo, Keith Laumer, Arcturus Landing, Gordon R. Dixon. And then here's a Stellar Six collection. And then I found this really fun book on reincarnation. I love books like that, so I tend to grab them. And, here, we'll just keep stacking here for a second. Get a little bit more. Then see The Other Side of Tomorrow by Roger Elwood. And then we have A Life for the Stars by James Blish. Space Swimmers by Gordon R. Dixon. Space Paw by Gordon R. Dixon. Monker. And then we got Pro. I really think these came from the same person as the others that I had pulled out. Because the other lots that I had pulled out of that store a couple of months ago, they were just loaded with Dixons, and this is no different. We got All the Stars a Stage by James Blish. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that half reveal on you. Second Game, Charles V. DeVette. And then this is really great. This is in great condition. It's a great cover, and it is The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. Very stoked I run into those that are in good condition. But a lot of times you see the same cover that, they've been printed since the 90s. But then, sometimes you run into these old ones and they're just completely shredded, man. They're like completely unreadable. But that's pretty great. That's probably going to get sold. Here's A Hand of Oberon. And another James Blish, They Shall Have Stars. And here's another James Blish, and All the Stars a Stage, another one. So we have two of those. Here's The Shattered Stars by Richard McEnroe. Lee Brackett, The Ginger Star. And Adam Link, Robot. There you go. And then there's a Continuum 4 and a Continuum 1. What else we got here? Seeds of Change by Thomas Middleton. Great cover. So, kind of blaze through all that. Yeah, there's some really great stuff. They'll all kind of go in the mix and get sorted, and I think a lot of this is going to get posted. Even the Blishes. I've got a lot of Blishes right now, and not enough time to read everything. So I think some of it's going to get sold, and a lot of the other stuff in this pile will probably make its way to the eBay store as well. So, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to just talk about the eBay store. I'm not a very good capitalist, as I've said, and it makes me feel weird talking about selling things. It makes me feel a little icky on the inside of my being. So there's one last thing that I have here that's pretty unique. I actually found this in a bookstore and decided to go ahead and grab it because it was priced very reasonably. But this is a folio edition of Always Coming Home by Ursula K. Le Guin. But it's not just a folio. It has a cassette. And there's a little bit of sun damage here on the edge. The front's in really good shape. This is the edition, so it's this large trade paperback, and I believe This is 1985, yeah. And it's really nice. This is very cool. There's a lot of interesting things in this book. This is a particularly interesting book in general, so I thought that this edition was super duper. There's the tape. I love old cassette tapes. I don't know if this has ever actually been listened to, so this has music and poetry of the Kesh. That's so cool. Yeah, if you can see that. Very cool. Anyway, well, I don't know. I could probably stand here and talk for a while, and I like talking to you people. All of you science fiction humans. I do think there's probably some pretty ripe conversations to have in the near future about this current disclosure of UFO information. I like to think of myself as reasonably skeptical, but I'm definitely not a complete moron like Mick West. So, as information comes, I process it and I file it in the appropriate places in my mind, and I just sort of try to figure out how it all fits together in this reality construct that my brain is currently modeling and perpetually modeling. So as things change and as new information comes in, I have to reconstruct my cosmology, hopefully not from the ground up. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not we actually get a solid answer to the Fermi paradox. And it would be very sad to know that there were other humans, other paranoid monkeys that had that answer and kept it away from other people. So that would be really sad, just for the progressive state of humanity in general. So, but I am not a sad person, and I am not here to talk to you about sad things. And I want to wish you well, and I want to tell you to be kind to your fellow human, because there is nothing more valuable and not much easier out there than just being kind. So thank you, and have a great week, and let's pray that the YouTube algorithm does not further punish me for missing a weekly upload. I missed a week a couple of weeks ago, and the last video I posted, it can actually give me the metric. It has been 23% worse than the other videos. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye.